have a very, very special guest today, Karen K. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Today we're going to be talking about Memento Mori. Memento Mori means remember one day that you will die. And for those of you who have been in my office the past few years, you might have seen a poster that I have about Memento Mori for me, right? So what this is, it represents every week that I've lived in life in all of the years. And in my case, I ran my life expectancy to 100 because for me, I like to see that there's more dots ahead. But the reality is I really don't know. Hence, remember you must die. So Karen was kind enough to visit with us today because she was in my office a couple of years ago, and you noticed and saw the Memento Mori poster that I had behind me, and your husband Mike, you guys started looking at it, and you asked me what did it mean, or what is that? So take it from here about what you thought back then about the poster, other than she thought I was a little weird. I will say that, but go ahead.
I knew it had something to do with death because I had read about it in a book.
Right.
But I had never seen it. Usually it's symbolism, like a skull or a religious symbol. So I'd never seen it as a calendar before. And so that's why I asked you what it was all about.
Right. And what did you think after I explained to you what it was about?
I thought it was very interesting. You can see it from both perspectives. Yes, we're all going to die. And you can see it from a morbid point of view, or you can see it as something positive. When you look at the dots that have yet to come, then you can say, look, I have a lot not only to be grateful for, but to look forward to in life.
Right, right. You were in here a couple of weeks ago, which set up today's interview. And when you came in,
yes,
we talked and met, and you looked at the poster, and it was different when you looked at the poster, right?
Yeah, it was very different.
Yeah. We could all feel that, and it was a little emotional, would you say?
Yes.
Yeah. So tell us what changed.
My best friend, who I've grown up with, we've known each other since I was 13 years old. And we're the same age. She was walking her dog one evening a couple months ago and called her husband and said, you need to come get the dog. And he couldn't understand, but he came and got the dog. And he asked her, is this a hospital thing? And she said, yes. And so he went to get the car, and she started to collapse on the sidewalk. When they got to the hospital and did a CT scan, they transferred her down to University of Maryland Shock Trauma because it turned out that she had an aneurysm that burst.
Wow.
She has had at least 5 operations. She had the original aneurysm clipped and was in the ICU, but unfortunately she developed a second bleed. And that caused even more complications. And instead of spending only 2 weeks in ICU, she ended up spending almost 4 weeks, maybe 5. And again, she's had 4 other procedures. She is still surviving. She is in a rehab center right now, doing speech therapy, physical therapy, occupational therapy. She had a little hiccup this week and had to go back for yet another procedure. But we're all hoping that she's going to get some quality of her life back again.
Right.
We don't know yet. And seeing the calendar really made me think about how true it is. Death is going to come. And the question is, when is that going to happen? And the fact that it can happen so suddenly made me think of the positive part of the calendar, which is to be extremely grateful for what we have.
Yeah.
And how we live every day. And I try to do that by taking really good care of myself.
Mm-hmm.
That's not to say she didn't either,
Right.
but I want to have that quality of life as I'm going into my 60s and then hopefully into my 70s and maybe longer, I hope.
Right. That's amazing. Well, thank you for sharing your story today. And we don't know how many blocks that we have left. For all I know, it could be, one or two more of these things. So thanks for having the courage to talk about your experiences and how Memento about this sport and how it's changed your mindset over the past couple of years. And we wish your friend the best, Karen.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.